Our leaders on the professional staff side, they expect excellence and they push our teams towards that, but they're also caring, they're supportive, and they show gratitude. And I think those types of behaviors it really cascades down throughout the firm, and it makes it a place where people want to come and they want to stay, like a destination.
From Aderant, this is Studio A, the podcast that helps legal professionals like you stay on top of trends and solutions that keep your law firm thriving. Welcome to Studio A, powered by Aderant, your legal tech podcast for insightful conversations shaping the legal tech industry. I'm your host, Will Ayers. We pride ourselves in interviewing thought leaders who are driving innovation across the space. And today we have Director of Financial Services, Allie Tyler from Baker Botts. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Will. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Super excited to get an opportunity to speak with you. I love to talk to law firms that are really driving innovation. So let's get this party started.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Now, Baker Botts, incredible law firm, doing a lot of great work. Just give us an overview of the work that your firm does.
Sure. So the firm is organized in 5 departments: corporate, global projects, which focuses a lot on energy, intellectual property, litigation, and tax. Practice across a number of different industry sectors, but the firm is really known for deep expertise in the energy and technology sectors. And just to give a little sense of the firm's size, in the latest AmLaw rankings, we were ranked number 67 based on revenue, so a little over 820 million in revenue. And we have about 630 annual average lawyers for 2024.
Now, your firm is known for getting awards. You have legal professionals and lawyers at your organization. I would say they're top tier. What makes lawyers and legal professionals at your firm so great?
Baker Botts is a really special place to work. And the culture is very unique there. And it really starts with just a collaborative and collegial environment. And it's rooted in just genuine kindness. Like, there's just a lot of nice people to work with there. Our leaders on the professional staff side, they expect excellence and they push our teams towards that, but they're also caring, they're supportive, and they show gratitude. And I think those types of behaviors it really cascades down throughout the firm, and it makes it a place where people want to come and they want to stay, like a destination. I'll say on our financial services team, I've been with the firm 10 years, and that's below the average tenure on our team. We're about a third of the department has a tenure of 20 years or more with the firm.
Baker Botts is doing some incredible work across the energy sector, in addition to other verticals as well. Can you talk about some of the work that your firm has done and the work that you're most proud of?
Absolutely. So Baker Botts is a global firm. We've got offices in Texas, where the firm was founded in 1840, as well as offices in California, New York, and Washington, D.C. to round out our U.S. operations. We also operate on a global scale. So we've got offices in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. And that's one of the areas where we've really been focusing, is trying to grow internationally. We opened the Singapore office in 2022, have a lot of partners there who focus on energy projects and transactions, doing great work, and working to build out that office even more with areas of practice and other key sectors. We brought in a powerhouse trio of partners in the London office that focus on project finance. So one of the projects that the firm is really proud of is the work that was done on the NEOM green hydrogen product in Saudi Arabia, just to kind of show the scale of the firm, the capabilities across a number of offices. Another area that's up and coming and kind of relates to the rise in AI and cloud operations is in data center development. So data centers popping up, and there's a lot of legal work from real estate, energy, regulatory, environmental, financing. So the data center development expertise that our team has kind of shows the intersection of energy and technology expertise that the firm has.
Speaking of technology, you mentioned AI. There's a lot of innovation that's going on in general, whether it be cloud, data, AI, across the legal industry. Can you just talk about your firm's approach to adopting new technology? Because things are moving very fast, but that also requires a strategy and an approach to be able to adopt that technology in the right way. So can you lean into that a little bit more?
Sure. I mean, our firm tends to be cloud first. So where it makes sense, we try to get on cloud platforms. We've found that it really benefits the firm in a number of ways. Like, no one knows Aderant better than Aderant. So it makes sense for us to have the system secured by Aderant, managing that security, managing all, the commodity work that it comes with running a system, like the patching, the monitoring. We found that where we have cloud systems, it really maximizes the efficiency and uptime. That's a huge benefit for our firm because it frees up our resources to do what they do best, which isn't necessarily, running these systems.
Now, integrating new solutions, that's another process in itself when it pertains to selecting a provider. There's a process of actually taking that technology and incorporating it into the business systems that you already have. Can you talk about that relationship between Baker Bots and Aderant and that process and the way that's been?
Absolutely. So we're using Aderant Professional Services and Cloud Operations for our entire migration. And we're heavily reliant on that team because it's not something we do all the time, but it is something that those teams do on a daily basis. And so there's comfort in knowing that we're not the first ones, that they've worked with. And it's been really cool. Like there's a lot of people who we've worked with for a number of years on our original implementation project. It's great that they still want to talk to us, after all these years and take our calls, but being able to leverage those relationships, and there's comfort in, we encountered some hiccups maybe last week on our Sierra implementation and talking through with the team and someone like, Tim Garner, who's like, we've got you, we're going to figure it out. And, later that day, they figured it out and we got through that little issue. So it's been great. We really appreciate the partnership.
In what ways are legal professionals at Baker Bots leveraging AI to kind of like supercharge the capabilities they already have?
Yeah. I mean, so I can speak to what we're doing on the financial services side, and Microsoft Copilot's one of the tools that we're using. I've found it really beneficial in our Sierra project meetings. Like we have a bunch of them. There's like, sometimes 4, 5, 6 hours of meetings a day. And I'm a big note taker in meetings. And sometimes I find that like I'll miss something big that's come next because I'm still taking a note on the last item. So knowing that Copilot's recording and taking excellent notes and is going to give us action items that are pretty darn accurate has allowed me to be a better and more engaged and active meeting participant. One of the other areas that we've leveraged Copilot relates to Aderant. So we had Chris Cartrat and George Seymour were coming on site last fall for a big meeting with our leadership team. And I had put together some detailed talking points, like that detailed note taking. I'm pretty detailed, and that our team wanted to review with Chris and George. And we use Copilot to take that, big list and sum it down to like a very succinct executive summary that we were able to review with them, had a very effective and productive meeting. And, kind of clearing some of those concerns that we had was how we signed the contract to move to Sierra. So AI, I think, even had a role in our journey to Sierra.
Where do you see AI going within the next 2 to 3 years? Because it's moving fast.
It is. I mean, I think that's the thing is like it's continuing to evolve, continuing to, automate lower complexity items, but still needing human intervention for review. I just don't think that's changing at all.
I love that. Yeah, like even myself, I think AI really supercharges the capabilities that we already have as professionals. So I love to hear that people on your team, even yourself, you guys are using AI to kind of drive productivity and efficiency.
That's right. And we're using it, in some other areas. There's an AI committee. And so any tool that the firm uses has to be reviewed and vetted by that committee. But I think the key thing is just usability and adoption. Like there's so many different tools that are coming to market, and, firms just have to sift through what makes sense and what solves a business problem for them, and will users adopt it? Because AI is involving changing behavior, and some behaviors of people who have behaved a certain way, for a long time. So it's got to be something that they'll adopt and can kind of see like, okay, this makes my life easier on a day-to-day basis, and I want to incorporate this, into what we're doing. I'm excited about Ask Maddie, after being in one of the last presentations is, there's certain things like where I see like low complexity would be useful for me on a daily basis. Like maybe not routine reports, but like we get a question from our CFO, like how many clients have we collected over X amount in the last year, or how much did we write off for this client? Sometimes it's going, and digging to find a report or building a report, manipulating data. So like being able to use natural language to just ask this like one-off simple question and get the answer would be really a big time saver.
I love that. I love that. And I love the fact that there's a committee at Baker Botts that really evaluates all of the new solutions that you bring on board. That leads me to my last and final question. What's your advice for law firms that are considering new solutions as it pertains to AI and cloud?
So I think, don't be afraid to take it in bite-sized chunks, like using our Sierra project as an example. I don't know that we're super common in the way that we're approaching it, but like we're literally just migrating to Sierra. We're not doing an upgrade. We're not adopting new modules. And that might not be the right approach for everyone, but like that was absolutely the right approach for us because we had a finite amount of time that we could do this project in, kind of in between other projects and before year end. Like we don't implement new financial software in the fourth quarter. And so not feeling like pressure to kind of do everything all at once, like just taking it in chunks that you can realistically incorporate, I think has been really important for us. And then, reaching out and talking to other law firms for their advice. There was that kind of theme throughout the whole sessions this morning on the law firm communities, like very, willing to share information and insights. And there's a chance that if you're contemplating something, like there's others that who've already been through that or are wrestling with the same questions that you are. So reaching out and having those conversations, we found very beneficial, including on our Sierra journey. Other law firms have been really generous in their time, and it's really helped us incorporate those tips and lessons into our own project and AI and cloud journey.
Well, Allie, I'm super excited about all of the great things that Baker Botts is doing, not only in the legal space, but from a technological standpoint as well. We hope that you join us again on the show so we can check back in to learn more about the journey that you guys are on.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Will.
Thank you. Okay. You are tuned in to Studio A, your insightful podcast for all of the conversations shaping legal tech. You can check us out on all major streaming platforms. Thank you for tuning in to Studio A. Thanks for listening to Studio A. For more from this episode, visit Aderant.com. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss a beat, and we'll see you next time in Studio A.